Hello everyone, this is Pastor Mayuri Ganta with Life to All Nations TV channel and welcome to our Monday Motivations. We've been pondering over gratitude on the last few episodes. And I think gratitude is a forgotten art. Gratitude doesn't come to us naturally, right? We need to be taught. I remember my mom teaching me when I was growing up to be thankful. Now I find myself teaching my children to say thank you. And one of the things that I really feel, that fuels gratitude is remembering what the Lord has done. Remembering what the Lord has done in the past fuels our gratitude. And when we look at the Old Testament, we see how God delivered the nation of Israel through difficult and different circumstances. He miraculously saved them from foreign nations. He provided water and bread for them in the wilderness. Yet the nation of Israel turned their back to God. They became disobedient and so distant from God. And I think one of the reasons for that is they forgot or they failed to remember God. They failed to remember God's miraculous acts. They failed to remember how God left them and provided for them. They failed to remember the acts of God. They fail to remember God's deliverance. They fail to remember that God was loving, He was present, and His faithfulness. They fail to remember that. But yet, in the Bible, we see men who remembered, in fact, who made a spiritual habit of remembering what God has done in the past. Through the most difficult times, through the most darkest times of their life, they reminded themselves of what the Lord has done. Even when we look at Psalms chapter 9, reading from 1 and 2 from the Living Translation, the psalmist says, I will praise you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of your marvelous things you have done. I will be filled with joy because of you, and I will sing praises to your name, O Most High. The psalmist writes about two things. Number one, giving thanks to God. Number two, recounting of God's wonderful deeds. Recounting of God's wonderful deeds helped Israel to remember God's goodness and God's faithfulness even in the most difficult times of their lives. And so that is true even for us, my friends. Recounting God's wonderful deeds. So many times in the Bible, we are commanded to remember what the Lord has done for us. We are commanded to remember God's love for us. Remembering what God has done for you in the past will fuel you with gratitude for your future. So this morning, I want us to take time to remember what the Lord has done. Maybe there was a season in your life where you experienced God's provision, God's love. Think about that times. I don't know what season you are in, but remembering what God has done for you in the past will fuel you and give you hope for the future. God bless you. Have a great day. Hey, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. That way you don't have to miss a thing. We can stay connected to you and you can stay connected to us.